The following program is made possible by generous gifts from partners of Benny Hinn Ministries and viewers like you in this area.
For where two or three are gathered together in my name, I am there in the midst of them. We know God hears our prayers and answers them. Send Pastor Benny your prayer requests and let him come into agreement with you. In addition, the ministry staff will pray for you before your request is sent to Israel, where for 30 days the saints in Jerusalem will agree with you.
Say out loud, Lord Jesus, I believe you are the Son of God. You rose from the dead. Cleanse me with your blood, and I am born again.
Pastor Benny Hinn is urgently preaching the gospel to the lost because the world's only hope is salvation through God's only Son, Jesus Christ.
The gift of God is life eternal.
This is your day to join Benny Hinn in proclaiming Jesus as Savior and Healer.
I am fascinated, and I mean fascinated, by Dr. Wallach. You know, I've had many guests, but I've never had one like him. And I'm really fascinated by what you've accomplished so much for God's people. Like millions of people, literally millions, have been helped by you. Not thousands, millions.
And it's a great honor. And of course, I figured this out when I was 9, Pastor Benny. And I realized that, and even when I was 9, that a 9-year-old kid is not going to figure this out by himself. So I knew that I had a divine appointment when I was 9.
That God really called you to help people. Okay, now we're talking about how to reverse disease. I've had Dr. Braverman here, I've had Dr. Don Colbert, Gary Gordon, on and on and on. And you know, I think all of you doctors that deal in nutrition are really a gift to all of us.
Absolutely, I know these men, they're great men.
Yeah. You know, I've been watching some amazing programs. One of them called Forks Over Knives. You really need to see it. Forks, like a fork over knives. And one called Food Matters. These are doctors, top doctors, that have studied nutrition and what is going on today in America. How many people are getting killed, dying literally from prescription drugs, from conventional medicine. They're dying unnecessarily from just taking all these drugs.
1.5 million a year are killed just from decimal point errors in fulfilling prescriptions. 1.5 million are killed and permanently injured in America alone.
Now you use the word killed,
yes,
but
like dead.
But yeah, I mean, but they're dying. Nobody's killing them, but they're just
the drugs. These are people who may have like migraine headaches, and the doctor writes the prescription wrong, or the pharmacist fulfills it wrong, or they have a child that has strep throat, and he's supposed to get a prescription penicillin, and the pharmacist is a little busy, and he puts in chemotherapy for a 300-pound man for a strep throat for a 3-year-old kid and kills a kid. This happens.
I mean, I heard on one of those DVDs, like Food Matters, they said that something like 100 and something thousand people a year die from side effects.
Oh, yeah, the side effects, are nothing compared to the mistakes.
Wow.
Mistakes are much more dangerous than even the side effects.
You've helped Creflo Dollar speaks well of you because you helped his daughter.
11-year-old daughter, and then he also uses our products because he gives
Tell me about his daughter. She was given up by.
Yeah, the medical doctors told
happened?
him that she was probably not going to make it. She was one of these kids who didn't respond to medical treatment for asthma. And Andrew Young from the Civil Rights Movement, he was actually scheduled to have both his knees replaced. I rebuilt his knees. He canceled his.
Andrew Young, the guy from Atlanta, who used to be with Jimmy Carter.
Yes, he was the ambassador to the UN for Jimmy Carter.
Yeah, I remember that.
He was Martin Luther King Jr.'s general to keep the buses full during the protest.
Right.
And he was the mayor of Atlanta. Very, very.
I remember him.
Yep, very important man. And he was.
You helped him with his.
He was scheduled to have both his knees replaced. And I rebuilt his, he canceled his surgeries. I said, I can do this in 90 days. Okay, Doc, I'll give you 90 days. So quicker, it was like 60 days, I was able to rebuild his knees.
How, Doc?
With the 90 essential nutrients, 60 minerals, 16 vitamins, 12 essential amino acids, 3 essential fatty acids.
Now, slow down, and because I had him do this yesterday at the end of the program. Okay, give me that list again that helped Andrew Young and Creflo's daughter and him and millions of people like them. One more time, 90
essential nutrients.
Nutrients that we all need.
Yes.
90 essential nutrients.
Yes, sir, you got it.
And we need what else?
Well, in some cases, you need a little extra of some. For instance, with diabetes, you need some extra of some of those. And I can take a type 2 diabetic who is very, very brittle. Their A1C hemoglobin is out of control. Their blood sugar is out of control, even with injectable insulin. Anywhere from 2 weeks to 2 months, they're an ex-diabetic. We can make California a diabetes-free state in 90 days if everybody would do the same program.
Really? Okay. Well, run that list again by me. Okay. 90
essential nutrients.
Okay.
60 minerals.
60 minerals.
16 vitamins.
16 vitamins.
12 amino acids.
12. Okay.
And 3 essential fatty acids.
With those 5 groups, you can fix anything. Is that it?
Yes, sir. But if you want to make it go faster, you have to put more of what we call the secret sauce for each disease. Okay, for instance, everybody needs, just like everybody needs oxygen, everybody needs water, everybody needs the 90 essential nutrients, 60 minerals, 16 vitamins, 12 essential minerals.
Why doesn't the medical profession agree with you? They think, forgive me, but they think many of you are quacks, you know?
This is true.
Why?
Okay, well,
is it because of money?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's insurance. For instance, if they were to cure you, see, there's no laws requiring them to cure you when there's a cure available.
Well, there's no money in health. Okay, fine. We know that.
Yes, yes.
So it's all about moolah.
Yes, sir.
Making money. So they don't care about people's health.
Well,
I mean, you know, I shouldn't really say that. Okay.
When they go to medical school, they might start out being altruistic when they start into medical school. But by the time they graduate, they have been changed. Okay? The pharmaceutical industry gives them things. They start giving them things. And they give them books and pay for trips and give them their first stethoscope and give them their first
So a
ophthalmoscope.
pill for every ill doesn't work?
No. For instance, a good example, my favorite example, is rheumatoid arthritis.
Let's talk about arthritis.
Rheumatoid arthritis is an infection with a bug called mycoplasma. And mycoplasma is primarily a respiratory drug, but it gets in your bloodstream and sets up housekeeping in your joints and causes rheumatoid arthritis. You can kill it with a antibiotic in 2 weeks called minocycline. Just like you can kill the syphilis bacteria in 2 weeks with penicillin, you can kill strep throat bacteria with penicillin.
Listen, he told us some powerful things yesterday about reversing cancer. You really need to watch that program. And heart disease. I mean, this man is really top-notch. He knows what he's talking about.
You're too kind.
No, I mean, it's true because I've seen it happen too in my own life, and I've seen it happen in people's lives. Okay, so you can reverse arthritis.
Yeah, rheumatoid arthritis is curable in 2 weeks.
In 2 weeks?
Yes, sir. But the physician will only make $300 in office calls if he cures it. But if he treats you for rheumatoid arthritis with gold shots and methotrexate and joint replacements over 25 years, he makes $750,000. So he has a choice. Does he make $750,000 or does he make $300,000?
So extend the disease so you can make more money. How
Yes,
sad.
sir.
But you can fix it in 2 weeks.
Yes, sir.
How?
Okay, well, I would give people 2 choices. They can have either the minocycline, which is a member of the tetracycline family antibiotic, and kill the bug, or I can give them a set of herbs, which will also support the immune system, and 2 of the 8 herbs would have antimicrobial properties and kill the bug. This can take 60, 90 days to rebuild the damage using what we call the Healthy Bone and Joint Pack. It has the 90 essential nutrients and extra of the secret sauce, which actually rebuilds the cartilage.
You know, people said, why are you promoting all these nutritionists? If people get healthy, then you're out of the ministry. You're wrong, because I am preaching the gospel. My first calling is get people saved. I'll always have something to do. But you know why I'm doing this? Because I am so tired of seeing God's people sick. I'm serious with you. I have seen more sickness. I'm 60 years old, okay? I've seen more sick people, I think, than most people alive. As I travel the world, I see sickness everywhere. And Doc, it's time we talk about health, not just healing.
Yes.
And that's why you're here.
Yes, and of course, prevention is always the best. Just like you put oil in your car to prevent the engine from burning up, you take the 90 essential nutrients before you get sick, then you don't get sick. And this is the way the good Lord meant it to be, and this is why he put Adam in the Garden of Eden. And of course, all this ended.
You mentioned that with the garden
Yesterday, yes.
because of the 4 rivers
Yes.
and all the minerals that were in that garden.
Yeah, the minerals come with the silt in the river during the flood time, rebuild the minerals in the soil. And the Tigris, the Euphrates, the Pishon and Dishon rivers. And this was the first MapQuest because it gives you exactly where the Garden of Eden is. Those 4 rivers are still there today. The Garden of Eden is still there today, east of Eden. And
So what we need is minerals in
Yes,
our
sir.
body.
and you don't get it from the food anymore, and here's why. We dammed up all the rivers, and so the soil doesn't flood anymore, and reestablished the minerals of the soil. That doesn't happen anymore. We're killing the ocean because we've cut off the food supply to the ocean by damming up the rivers. The food supply was the minerals going out into the ocean to grow the plants and the algae which fed the fish.
Wow.
We're not overfishing the ocean. We've cut off the food supply to the ocean by damming up the rivers. Then, at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, Monday, September 4th, 1882, everything changed. Our traditional source of minerals went away in a heartbeat. At 3 o'clock in the afternoon, Monday, September 4th, 1882.
What happened?
Because prior to that, everybody used a wood stove. Okay, and what do we do with the wood ashes every morning? They went out in the garden. Wood ashes are not ashes. Wood ashes are really the minerals that are left when you burn the wood in the tree. You throw the plant minerals, AKA wood ashes, out into the garden, and then the corn and the tomatoes and the sweet potatoes and onions and peas and beans and squash and okra, whatever you're growing out there, sucks up all these minerals. You ate your food. You got your mineral supplements by putting the plant minerals, AKA wood ashes, from your wood stove and fireplace into the garden. Well, at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, Monday, September 4th, 1882, Thomas Edison pulled the switch on the first commercial electric generating plant on Pearl Street, New York. Within 10 years, Pastor Benny, in every industrialized nation, the general population had converted from wood as the universal fuel to electricity, propane, and natural gas. And they didn't replace our source of minerals. And so we went from getting our minerals with the wood ashes, from ashes to ashes, went from getting our nutrients from wood ashes to where do they come from? Nowhere. And so we have to consciously supplement with them now because we're not putting wood ashes in our food anymore.
How do we find those minerals today for you, for me?
Okay, we actually have a place that has 77 minerals, including all 60 essential minerals in optimal amounts. There's actually an ancient compost pile that was underneath the sea for thousands and thousands of years. And this is part of our program with we call the Healthy Start Pack.
But can we not get them from a health food store?
No, sir.
How's that?
Because we're the only ones that have access to it.
How's that?
Well, we have in perpetuity, we have an arrangement with the state that owns it. It's actually state property. And we have an arrangement with them in perpetuity that we're the only ones that can get to this stuff. And we extract the minerals from it. It's kind of like making a sun tea. We don't put any chemicals or anything. We just put it in water and it leaches the minerals out. When it reaches a certain level, we bottle it. We can either have it in capsules and dry so it's easy to carry around, or in liquid. I prefer the liquid because it's easy to absorb. And you get 77 minerals, including all 60 essential ones. And that's the basic core of what makes us different.
Let's talk about diabetes. You can reverse diabetes too.
Yes, sir. We've known for 70 years that diabetes, type 2 diabetes, which makes up 98% of the diabetic population, is a simple mineral deficiency. We've known it for 70 years. It's not genetically transmitted at all. That is easily reversed. Okay, usually within, I've had it happen as quickly as 2 days, but I'd say 2 weeks to 2 months, somewhere in there it's going to take. And I've had some pretty heavy challenges by a fellow who owns the 3rd largest medical laboratory in America, Gamma Labs. And he had terrible diabetes, so was just not responding to any medical treatment. And so we made a bet. His name is Jerry Murphy. I said, I can reverse your diabetes within 90 days. He said, well, you know, I know the best endocrinologists, and they're saying I've got diabetes that can't be reversed. It's genetic. I said, no, that's not true. He said, okay, I'll give you 90 days, Wallach. So I'll tell you what, I'll be your best friend, which he has become my best friend, if you're able to do what you can say and get rid of my diabetes in 90 days.
Wow. And you helped Andrew Young to, now you didn't, by the way, finish by telling us what happened to his knees.
Oh, I regrew the cartilage in his knees and he didn't have to have his knee replacements. That was in 1991.
You regrew the actual bone.
Bone and cartilage.
Are you serious?
Yes, sir. It's regrowable.
And you did it with all the
Nutrition.
minerals and all the
Yes.
nutrition you mentioned?
Yes.
So if I called Andrew Young right now and asked him, he would
If he knew me,
verify that you did that?
Yes, yes. Oh, yeah. I've sat in his living room many, many times. We, have a little glass of red wine, and we'll discuss politics.
Hey, by the way, is red wine okay?
Absolutely. Has
Does it help
resveratrol in it. Yes, sir. It has resveratrol.
But can't we take the pills themselves?
I have the pills too. If you prefer the pills, if you don't want the alcohol.
Which is better?
Well, they're the same. Just some people are against alcohol, and they don't have to drink the red wine.
Just asking because people like to know about this.
Yeah.
Keep talking about the diabetes.
Okay. Well, diabetes again is a deficiency of a mineral,
One
mineral, and so you take the 90, take extra of the mineral. We call it our healthy blood sugar pack, and it goes away.
Doc, you're serious.
Dead serious, Pastor Benny.
You can reverse diabetes in an elderly, like someone in their 80s?
Oh, yes, sir. And kidney failure. We get people off of, in fact, I just had a gentleman in Moncton, Canada, which is 1,000 miles east of New York, and in Atlantic time. When it's 1 o'clock, when it's noon in New York, it's 1 o'clock in Moncton. This guy, his name is Tug. He's 87 years old. He could not urinate since he was 14. He was on dialysis 6 days a week.
Wow.
Since he was 14 to 87, diabetes. We got rid of his diabetes and got him off of dialysis and had him urinating again in 2 weeks with our program.
What did you do to help Creflo's daughter with asthma?
We gave her the 90 essential nutrients and got her on a gluten-free diet.
Okay, now when you give someone all the nutrients,
Yes, sir.
What happens to their body? Does their body kind of help itself?
Yes, yes. Well,
what happens?
Well, part of the
like
secret,
someone like her that's, doctor said, okay, no help.
That's
We're
right.
not going to help you.
Well, there's no drug that could help her anymore. Okay, and so there's two parts to the secret. So don't tell anybody. Part number one.
Telling the whole world. Go ahead, Doc.
Part number one is you have to make sure that they're absorbing it. And this is why you had to get this little girl on a gluten-free diet. Allow her intestines now to absorb these nutrients.
Because gluten
stops absorption of nutrients.
Oh boy!
Changes the lining of the intestine.
And you said we get gluten from bread.
Yes, sir. Bread. Now see, in the biblical days.
And cereals and other things too.
Yes, we actually have a CD called Serial Killers.
What?
Serial Killers.
Really?
Yes, that tell you all the hidden places you're going to find gluten.
Okay. Well, you know what? I want to hear what you were saying earlier, and I'm going to ask you.
Okay.
More about gluten. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's worth 2 months worth of lectures.
Man, yeah.
But at any rate, the diabetes is easily gotten rid of. And so at any rate, Jerry Murphy says, I'll be your best friend if you can do it in 90 days. So within 90 days, his diabetes is gone. But he said, if you fail, when we first made the wager, he said, if you fail, Wallach, he says, I will destroy you.
That's a threat.
Yeah,
wow.
yeah. He says, I lecture 3 times a week to medical groups. He says, I will tell everyone, I will make a CD and I'll hand them out. I'll make sure everybody knows you're a fraud if you fail. I will destroy you because I'm everywhere. And I said, okay, Jerry, you're on. And he backed up. He said, wait a minute, Wallach. He says, I'll do it. I'll do it. I'm not making this up. I said, are you afraid, Jerry? Come on. And so we made the wager, and sure enough, within 3 months, everything was normal, and he was off his medication.
Let's go back to Creflo's daughter.
Yes, sir.
You said there's 2 things.
Yes.
One, the body has to absorb
so
the
you have
nutrients.
To get a gluten-free diet.
Okay, and then
The
what?
second one, you have to give the 90 essential nutrients according to body weight. That's very important. This is what we do in the veterinary industry. If you go to a grocery store, you find dog food for toy dogs under 10 pounds of body weight. You find dog food for medium-sized dogs, 35 to 50 pounds, large breeds, 50 to 100 pounds. And human beings is based on age. Well, you and I see lots of people, and you'll see people who are 70 years old and they weigh 75, 80 pounds.
Right.
And you'll see kids who are 12 years old weigh 200 pounds. And so you can't go by age, you got to go by weight. And so if you're going to get a predictable result, you have to go by body weight. That way everybody's getting the same dose per pound, the same dose per pound.
Now, they just released a study about statin drugs. Everybody needs to take them, blah, 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 blah.
Not true.
And you're saying, forget it.
The doctor who said that should be put in jail because he's going to create Alzheimer's disease in every person in America who takes a statin drug.
So people that have high cholesterol, what should they do?
They should check themselves out because they probably have prediabetes or diabetes or low thyroid or deficiencies of certain nutrients like omega-3s. That causes high cholesterol. High cholesterol doesn't cause any heart disease. High cholesterol does not cause any disease. High cholesterol is a red warning light. And I tell people, You look at the red warning light in the dashboard of your car. Does it cause harm to your car? No. It's warning you there's a problem. If you lower your cholesterol, all you're doing is cutting the wire to the red warning light.
And you lower it how? Walking?
No, you don't want to lower it.
You do not want to lower it.
No. Normal is 220 to 270. Doctors say below 200. No, 220, 270 is normal.
I like this, doctor. Wow. So you just what? Do what?
Well,
nothing?
No. I like people to eat our weight. I weigh 155. What do you weigh?
About the same.
Okay. So we should be eating 4 to 6 eggs a day, poached or soft-boiled.
Yellow and all.
Yellow. Oh, yes, sir. That's the best part.
And the tastier part, too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, you have to think about it. The chicken egg is one of the greatest creations of the good Lord. Everything that, see, the chick, when the egg is laid, is the size of a 0 on a printed page. It's that little white spot sitting on top of the yolk. That's the chick. In 21 days exactly, Pastor Benny, that little dot on top of that yolk eats all that yolk and the white, and that egg cracks open, and there's a full-blown chicken there with a heart, a liver, kidneys, brain, eyes, skin, intestinal tract, feathers, bones, cartilage. All comes from everything that's in that egg. Egg is the perfect food.
Wow. And butter is good for you.
Oh, yes, sir.
And what else? Like milk, they say don't touch dairy products. Yes or no?
You must eat these things. Now, I have another book out called Immortality. In this book, Immortality, my wife and I took 10 years to write this book, and we looked at the top 20 longevity cultures on Earth. They're all third world cultures. They're illiterate. They have no doctors, no clinics, no hospitals, no private or government insurance, yet they have 40 times 100-year-olds we do. They're all very religious. They all go to church every day. They all go to service every Sunday, okay? But they go to church every day and do volunteer labor, if you will, for the church. They grow things for the church, for the pastors and so forth, the church. And then, by dumb luck, they just live in a place that has the 60 minerals in the soil, and they only eat 900 calories a day. Now, there is a science that shows when you have a calorie-restricted diet, you're going to add many years to your life. But they don't know that science. They're just so poor they can only afford 900 calories a day.
Now, listen, the doctor has a lot of material. We're almost out of time. I've really enjoyed you, Doc.
Well, thank you.
You said over 200 million people got this CD that I'm holding in my hand.
There was 200 million sold. You know, who knows how many pirated ones there were.
200 million sold?
Yes, sir.
What's in this that people want so bad?
Well, it teaches them how to eliminate the main diseases in their life, either prevent them or get rid of them. Arthritis, diabetes, high blood pressure, heart disease, Alzheimer's disease, fibromyalgia, lupus, birth defects.
Why do you call this Dead Doctors Don't Lie?
Well, because that's the only time they won't.
Doc, you're good. Okay, so this CD, over 200 million sold.
Yes, sir.
And it kind of tells you...
How to add 25 to 50 healthy years to your life. That's the short version.
Really?
Yes, sir.
So I can, if I listen to this, I can live 25 years longer.
There's one caveat.
Okay.
You have to take action and do what it says.
Well, of course.
Just listening isn't enough.
Take charge of your health.
Yes, sir.
And the book is about the same, or there's a lot more in the book, I'm sure?
There's a lot more in the book because there's tables and charts you can't get on a CD. So there's tables and charts in there. Which
what do you tell people in the book that you don't say in the CD?
Well, the basic story is the same. But, again, there's tables and charts which show very clearly things you can't show a table and a chart on a CD.
You say here, the alternative health, tell all that makes doctors cringe.
It's because if everybody were like you and me health-wise, Pastor Benny, the medical system would be very humble because you go to a doctor, I go to a doctor once every 75 years.
You're 74 now.
74, yes, sir.
You've never been to a doctor?
Not since I was 9, 66 years.
You don't go for checkups?
I do my own. This book tells you how to do your own checkup.
Really?
Yes. For $3, you can go to a pharmacy without a prescription, get everything you need. You'll use the same test strips that a doctor uses to determine if you have diabetes, high blood pressure, if you have kidney failure.
And then if you, God forbid, have those, you can show them.
It tells you what to do.
What to do to reverse it.
It's like a Betty Crocker recipe book.
I've really enjoyed this, Doctor. Listen, here's how you can get these. We'll be right back.
Dr. Joel Wallach's groundbreaking studies over decades of research have revealed numerous facts and truths about your health which are radically different from what you have been led to believe by the medical community. These findings have been distributed worldwide through the material on this phenomenal CD, Dead Doctors Don't Lie, with more than 200 million copies in circulation. Recorded during Dr. Wallach's lectures, this CD touches on a wide range of subjects including aging, heart disease, cholesterol, arthritis, cancer, diabetes, Alzheimer's, and pregnancy. In all, Dr. Wallach addresses 25 topics and engages in question and answer sessions with the audience. And his book is a comprehensive expansion of the material on the CD, with over 400 pages of information which can significantly impact your quality and length of life. You'll learn how to identify 90 essential nutrients, many of which are not available in food. Prevent and reverse 412 diseases with vitamins, minerals, and herbs. Reach your genetic potential for a long and happy life. Eliminate a major portion of costly medical expenses. Take responsibility for your health, and much, much more. Dr. Wallach's Dead Doctors Don't Lie 400-page book and multi-million selling CD can both be yours today for a gift of $40. It's not too early or too late to gain the knowledge and tools you must have to rescue and revolutionize your health and that of your family and loved ones. Call or order online today.
Fascinating Dr. Wallach. I really do like this doctor. You know, I have seen this work in my life. I really have. I'm not kidding you. How conventional medicine almost ruined my health. And when I took charge, God really took care of my body. Because healing, you know, God heals us through His divine power, but there's certain times that we have to take charge, and God will move in and help us be healthy. So it's healing and health. Get these today. The announcer told you how. Take charge of your health, sweet people. Please do. Live longer, live happier. Be there for your children and grandchildren and great-grandchildren. We want you to be here for a long time, and so does God. With long life will I satisfy Him and show Him my salvation. And you know, God has given us these wonderful doctors as a gift. Make sure to get this CD and the book. Tomorrow, another wonderful program. Please don't miss it. Thank you for being my wonderful friend, wonderful partner. I love you with all my heart. Bye-bye. Thanks for watching the program today. I pray you were blessed. And I want to talk to you, those of you that have never contacted our ministry, you've been watching the programs, or maybe you've been to our meetings but have never yet contacted the ministry. I have a free gift for you. And all you have to do today is simply write our ministry or go online. Benny Hinn, Post Office Box 16, 2000, Irving, Texas, or simply bennyhinn.org. And what I want to send you are the promises of God from Scripture. We have God's promises for victorious living or God's promises for healing. Make sure to get these today. They're free, and all you have to do is simply write us or go online. These will bless you tremendously, and you have a choice of either the one on healing, where I read all the healing scriptures from the Bible with beautiful music playing in the background, or the promises for victorious living. Do it today. A million thanks for watching, and the Lord bless you richly.